What is going on, YouTube? Now, what I forgot to mention in my first video is that I work for the Air Force full-time. I'm a crew chief, which you know is not fun. I am also a part-time student. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic and things going on with the government, they have been able to pay for my school for fall. So to improvise, I decided to clap a class to get my credits, at least some credit in, and also to study the NASM to become a personal trainer on the side. And as I said for my first videos, that my focus is to focus on people who work full-time and also have something on the side going on, whether working a side job or doing part-time school. So in a few, I'm going to show you what I'm doing in the kitchen, cooking up, and what I'm going to speak about these next couple videos for the next 3 or 4 months while I get back in shape and show my workout videos and what I eat for meal prepping. I'm going to be talking about the Atkins diet. Now, the thing about the Atkins diet is that the first 1-2 phases, there's 4 phases, right? You got the first phase, second phase, third phase, or fourth phase. The first phase is probably like the first 2-3 couple weeks, where you're eating 10 to 20 carbohydrates, grams of carbs, which is more like a keto diet. Now for me, I'm at the weight where I want to be at. I'm 198. I want to get down to 193, 192. When I am around 192, 191, I'm at the weight I want to be. So therefore, I'm doing more of a phase 4 Atkins diet where I'm eating a good amount of carbs, around max for me is 100 grams of carbs. As for someone else who's half my size, I'm 6 feet also and have a good amount of muscle mass, not as much as a bodybuilder of course, but a good amount. I do need some carbs, especially with the job. I'm always walking around and being busy. As I said, later on down the road, I'm going to talk more about the amount of calories to eat throughout the day, and also why I eat that many amount of calories and why I eat this much. So we're going to go to the kitchen. I'll show you what's cooking. So here's the result of the cooking, guys. Now you may be asking, well, this is it for the week? Well, yes, it's Monday. I already had my lunch and dinner today. Now you may be asking, well, where's your breakfast, lunch, and dinner and your snacks? Well, the snacks I set up the morning I get up before I go to work. I do work at night, which you can see is kind of late right now, 11:20. So I get up around 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning to do my homework, study, work on the videos as I'm going to do right now, and maybe work on making some music like I did for my intro. As I said before, I'm very busy. I work 9-10 hours a day because my job is very busy. I work for the military, like I said, as a crew chief, a very busy job, which I don't have time to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I will not get into that, but now I'm just going to focus and show you guys that this is how I set up my meals for the week. I have my eggs right here. I have my lunch and dinner, which is set for each day, and avocados, a banana for a shake, and like I said, my nuts. Not my actual nuts, but these nuts. All right, cool. Okay, you get the joke. All right. So yeah, let's move on. So yeah, as I said, this is how I have it set up. Now, specifically for this week, I want to talk about the Atkins diet. As you can see, I write down the ounces of the meat, and I know that the Brussels sprouts in here. Let's open it up. Any day now. The Brussels sprouts in here. I get the calorie count from the barcode on the bag. Now I know 6 Brussels sprouts had 10 grams of carbs, and what I put in here is around 9 Brussels sprouts. So now I know that pretty much half a six is going to be around 15 grams of carbs. So I know right here is 15 grams of carbs according to the package. And also the meat I have it written down, like I said, in ounces, 11.1 ounces. I know how much calories and grams of protein, carbs, and fats I'm getting according to the calorie counter I use. This is a setup I do have. Now I do make a protein shake for my post-workout, which I do make and take with me because I don't have time to come back home to work out. As of right now, I'm not going to the gym. I go to the gym on base, which is free. I need to save some money to pay for the NASM test and also to buy some furniture because I have no furniture in my house. So that's pretty expensive. I don't want to buy cheap stuff, so Like I said, I'm trying to save some money. I'm not going to a normal gym. I'm going to the gym on base. So I need to take all this food with me. I need to take my lunch and dinner, my eggs, my snacks, and my shake with me to eat after a workout, before work, and to eat during work during my lunch break. So this is a setup I have now, and now I'll break down why the Atkins diet and why I chose the Atkins diet. So now I'll talk about why I chose the Atkins diet and why I prefer it as to something I could sustain for the rest of my life. I'm gonna go into the gist of talking about the Atkins Superior Slimming Diet. Um, Pretty much, I'm gonna go down a list of different diets throughout this channel. I'm gonna get a few articles here and there what I read. Now, going through the database of the Food Health Source, or EBSCO host, which is a database where it gets a whole bunch of medical research articles on different types of diets. I'm gonna use that source and pretty much sum up everything that I've read. For the most part, I read the negatives of the Atkins diet on this database. Pretty much, I read mostly positives on having on arthritis and dementia and Alzheimer's. How high fat, high protein diets do improve neurological diseases, but when it comes to weight loss, I have not found that many articles that benefit weight loss, other than this one and another one that we're gonna go over, which talks about mostly the negatives, but those negatives mostly talks about people not eating enough of the nutrients they're supposed to eat, and also people overeating their amount they're supposed to eat. So here we're talking about pretty much a study. Like I said, it's a very general study, but I guess with the general study, we could see that even though we don't know exactly what these test participants have been doing following the diet, we don't know if they've been active. We don't know if they've been on a calorie deficit. We don't know if these people even worked out at all, or how they look like, or what they do. But we know from this study for sure that Atkins diet has proved that they are able to lose weight. So here we go. One study demonstrated that after 6 months of treatment of moderately obese but otherwise healthy individuals, weight loss with Atkins diet was slightly higher than in matched control sample. However, in a parallel study resulted after 12 months of treatment showed no difference. So pretty much in this diet, it showed that the people on the Atkins diet have lost weight more quicker than a control sample. But then again, we don't know what these people are doing. So if you go into the small broken down details of it, compliance was surprisingly high, with between 76 and 88% participation at the 12-month final follow-up. So we know that these people who participated followed the diet with 76-88% persistence. And after 12 months, the weight loss of the Atkins diet was 4.7 kilograms, is around 10 pounds, which is not that much. But then again, I assume these people did not work out or follow a strict calorie deficit diet. The zone diet was 1.6 kilograms. Learned diet was 2.6 kilograms, and the orange diet was 2.2 kilograms. There was a statistically different weight loss between the Atkins and the zone diet, but not between other alternatives. The metabolic risk factors improve in principle in relation to weight loss. So pretty much there was significant weight loss, but also what makes this this article kind of like iffy is that for some women, weight loss was still continuing, and it might have been unfair to close the study after 12 months, when in fact for some individuals further weight loss could be anticipated. So we know for sure that being on an Atkins type of diet, which means high fat, high protein diet, the person is still able to lose weight, maybe not following a calorie deficit. But imagine if somebody was working out, following the diet on a calorie deficit, not overeating the amount of calories they should in a day, then therefore maybe the effects do double or triple the amount of weight loss that a person is trying to reach. So here, this article is very general, but we know for sure that the Atkins diet is proves probably most effective when it comes to weight loss compared to other diets. This next article is going to talk about the negatives, and we're going to get right into that. Now, for this study, case histories, risk associated with the Atkins style diet by Stephen Occhella. I want to say this journal is I say it's biased in my opinion, is to lead people away from. Excuse me. Sorry. It's leading away from a meat-based diet, but I have to say that this journal right here, and in my enlightenment, I believe that this has put into light of the dangers of people taking this meat-based, high-fat, protein diet into extremes. Now, Kathy Barnett was a 16-year-old teenage girl. She was 200 pounds, 5'8", and of course, she was healthy for her age, even though I disagree being 200 pound, 5'8", 16-year-old girl. Overall, this journal says she was healthy the way she was, and of course, the journal speaks about how she was concerned about her image, so she switched over to the Atkins diet, and the diet and this journal says diet correctly consisted primarily of meat and cheese, and she ate regularly and did not fast. Now, if she only ate meat and cheese, first thing right off the bat, the red flag is that she did not eat the crucifix vegetables, which the Atkins diet advocates to eat. What she was trying to follow is the phase one of the Atkins diet. She did not eat the vegetables such as spinach, kale, broccoli, green beans, those type of crucifix vegetables that are good and which is your body needs. Now, if she only stuck with meat and cheese, not eating certain fruits such as blueberries or maybe a little bit of bananas, then of course she was malnourished. She had enough proteins in her body, enough fats, but she didn't have the micronutrients for her body to sustain. And of course, one day, a few weeks into the diet, she collapses at school, and paramedics went to the scene and they could not bring her back to life. And when they did an autopsy on her, they could not find exactly what the problem was until one doctor found out that she was actually malnourished. Malnourished in a sense where she didn't have enough electrolytes in her body. And here we can see that Russell and Tiger Mayer, where the hell his name is, demonstrated that active heart muscle relying on ketones for energy lost 50% of contractile function in a matter of hours, having revealed development of serious and fatal cardiac arrhythmias resulting from high dietary fat consumption. The most compelling finding in this case may provide the medical smoking gun that clearly implicates that the Atkins diet as a cause of Kathy's sudden cardiac death. Electrolytes are micronutrients that are essential for many bodily functions. Critical to normal heart rhythm is the electrolyte potassium. Ketones also use potassium to enter the kidney for excretion. The most profound the state of ketosis, the greater the depletion of potassium stores. And then we could find, of course, if we skip down to the gist of it, during resuscitation efforts when corrected for pH shift, Kathy's serum potassium was 3.8 milliequivalents at a critically low level reflective of profound hypokalemia. I can't say that shit. Hypokalemia. Yeah, hypokalemia. So therefore, her potassium levels were very low, and her electrolyte levels are super low. She wasn't eating the correct foods. She probably was not intaking a right amount of water as that. Can we say that Atkins diet was the main cause of her death? Yes and no. I say yes in the part that she followed the diet to an extreme phase one, probably for a long time. Maybe she exceeded 1 or 2 weeks of phase one, where she wasn't introducing any vegetables or fruits into her diet. Therefore, her body was not producing the right amount of electrolytes or potassium to sustain itself. And it got to a point where her body couldn't sustain all the ketones and on all the energy it needed to sustain itself, which led to her death. As a no, she probably didn't eat any vegetables, as she took it to an extreme because she wanted to lose weight. She didn't eat any small amounts of blueberries or any amounts of crucifix or vegetables. We don't know because this journal does not go in depth. But then again, we know that taken to extremes, any diet in extremes is not good for you at all. We take another one which goes over the top to the Atkins diet. This man is Mr. Jody Goran. He was 50 years old, active. He diet shopped and decided on the well-advertised Atkins diets. He liked that it was touted on no preparation diet and excluded hunger. Set no limit on the amount of food and included food so rich that they're not included in any other diet. No limit on the amount of food. Read that again. Set not limit on the amount of food. So pretty much in this man's head, he thought he could follow the Atkins diet, eating non-stop, eating and eating and eating. Therefore, it's a red flag because he's probably overeating the amount of calories he did not burn in a day. Therefore, as you know, what happens when you overeat the amount of food that you do not eat in a day, that you do not need in a day? Your body stores it as fat. Your body stores all that energy that you do not burn. Therefore, this probably led to the issues he was having later on down the road, as we're going to see now. His lipid profile of HDL was 65 and LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, at 154 milligrams. Triglycerides, 56 milligrams. Because of that, he is starting having heart issues. His arteries are getting clogged up, and therefore he needed a stent down the road. And we could find down the road also that, in fact, a large quantity of his diet consisted of food products directly manufactured and marketed by Atkins Inc. So we know also that he bought processed foods. He did not cook his own foods. If you're receiving packaged foods, you know that those foods are high in salt to to preserve freshness, and also it's processed. It's in a box, so he's not cooking his own stuff. He's probably overeating that food too. Also, that's not good for him. That's another thing we got to take into account. We look now at blood flow studies using microcardial perfusion imaging and I can't read that shit. Echocardio, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. We're performing on subjects before and after starting the Atkins diet. The study showed that blood flow to the heart diminished by an average of 40% after 1 year on an Atkins high-fat diet. Severe blood studies also show marked increase in inflammatory markers that predict heart attacks. Another study did an intensive review of Atkins diets concluded that a high-fat content results in progression of arteriosclerosis. Wow, I fucking suck at reading. All right, cool. Both studies are clearly consistent with Atkins diet and heart disease nexus reported the case. Now, one thing I really disagree on this medical article. Again, I'm not a doctor. I really don't know shit. Okay, but one thing I could tell you is that this eat to live number of calories, which are really circled, which does not make any sense to me. This eat to live menu, which this guy Steve Ocochella says, 1,600 calories. That is definitely not enough for somebody who works out and who has a busy lifestyle. This is the amount of like somebody who's like a child, like somebody who's 12, 14 years old. Imagine giving this amount of calories to somebody who's 25, 24, 200 pounds. They're going to be malnourished, you know. And then the Atkins menu diet of it consisting of 2,500 calories across the board is completely false and wrong. Of course, we can see that if a person who has a sedentary lifestyle, such as Jordy, as I assume Jordy Goran, which the article did not say he worked out at all or had a busy lifestyle or was always moving around, if he eats the amount of calories, of course he's gonna have issues because his body is storing all that fat and energy he did not burn. And not to mention with the sub message, clearly the total fat and saturated fat contained in the Atkins diet far exceed the daily intake recommendations. Okay. What this is based on what type of person and how much do they weigh, what is their lifestyle. You know, you can't just generalize everybody as to take, okay, you need this amount of fat or you need this amount of calories to sustain or live or even to be a healthy person. This makes no sense to me because like I said, how can I, somebody who works out almost every single day, who has a busy lifestyle, not to brag, but just to say an example, there's other busy people that work out hard, that work out for an hour and a half, doing weights, doing high intensity work, and then after that go to work like a carpenter, a mailman, a mechanic. These people burn over 600 calories a day. Shoot, I burn over 2,500 calories a day. You know, this right here would not sustain me. Any of these calorie amounts would not sustain me. So therefore, how is this author's recommendation what I need to sustain myself? Because I know it's not. So therefore, I believe this article is very biased. But what do I know? I'm not a doctor or a researcher yet. But I can tell you right now that these numbers are very skewed towards the favor of the writer of this article. He writes comments and references to back up his claim. But what I do agree with this author is that Jody and Kathy, they did take it to extremes where Kathy did not eat the essential nutrients that her body needed, and Jody, I believe, overate to what his body did not use. Therefore, whatever calories and fats he did not use to burn, it got stored as fat, and therefore he had cardiac issues. What we can take from these medical journals, like yes, these medical articles is yes, dieting is good, but you have to do it within limits. You can't take it to extremes, or you can't undereat where your body is malnourished. There has to be a balance in between of eating the right amounts and not overeating. The question you should ask yourself is that, can I eat meat and vegetables without carbohydrates? Vegetables, like no simple sugars, not too many breads, not too many fruits. Can you sustain that for the rest of your life? If so, then maybe this is a diet for you. Also, can you process meats and certain fats? If you can't, then obviously this diet is not for you. I personally chose diet because carbohydrates do hurt my stomach a lot, and it's not a matter of me trying to lose weight or trying to stay in shape, but it's a matter of what makes me feel best. And also, you gotta consider some people are allergic to food, some people are allergic to meat. You'd be surprised how many people how many everyone reacts differently to different diets. So it's up to you to try it. If you do not feel good on it, then change it up. Find something else. Maybe switch to high carb diets. Maybe fix it to a plant based diet. I don't know. Everyone is different. So you take what you want from this video and apply it to your daily life and to what your goals are in the end. You know, of course, Atkins diet does work. There's proof that it does work, but I feel like it goes down to the person and how disciplined you are when it comes to eating calories and how committed you are to your exercises. I hope this video helps. Next week, I'm gonna be talking about fasting and why I fast, the benefits and the cons of fasting. Please stay tuned to my channel, and everyone just have a good week and stay on the grind.